What's going on, guys? So, I know it's been a few days. I'm sorry, but life's been hectic in 2023. 2023 has been a crazy year for me so far. So many different things just keep coming and coming and coming. But hey, it's all good because it's all going to work out in the end, right? Today, I want to talk about something a little different. I want to get into Kai the Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker. Now, I know a lot of people know who this guy is, right? But people don't really know the story. We all saw the memes. We all saw like Jimmy Kimmel and this and that. But Netflix has a new documentary out on this guy. And come on now, this crap is insane. So just from the memes, I never looked into this case back in the day when everything was happening and going viral and Kai was this big media sensation. But I didn't have to. Just judging from that smash, 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 straight out of Dogtown, bruh, you could tell that this guy was not, you could tell this guy wasn't mentally all there.
I'm one of the heroes.
Yeah. Can we talk to you? Do you mind?
What do you want to talk about?
What happened today? You well?
Well, went straight out of Dogtown, skateboarding, surfing it up. Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Even if you make mistakes, you're lovable. And it doesn't matter your look, skills, or age, or size, or anything, you're worthwhile.
He doesn't have Down syndrome or like slow in a way. He's just not there. Maybe he's autistic and far out on the spectrum. Maybe it's a severe case of ADHD and emotional stuff. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't diagnose him. I'm not a doctor. So I'm not going to try to diagnose the guy. But he's obviously not just a normal person. He's a free spirit, right? So I don't understand why anybody was surprised when Kai, the Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker, who smashed the guy in the head over and over with a hatchet, was arrested for murder a few months later.
I was driving and I was in the passenger side of this f***er's car, and he comes over on there. He was over by the recycling center. He says, "Oh, when I was in the Virgin Islands, 30 years old on a business trip, I this 14-year-old." I was like, "You what?"
Now, when we first came to know him, and he had hit the guy over the head with the hatchet, he was painted out to be a hero. He was a hitchhiker. He was a passenger in this guy's car. This guy goes and crashes his car into the back of what looks like a garbage truck or something and pins one of the workers in between.
He's like, "You know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ and I can do anything I f***ing want to." And watch this, bam, and he smashed into this f***ing guy right there, pinned him in between that f***ing truck.
And then two women ran up to try to help the guy who's pinned in between. And the big guy jumps out and starts bear hugging him, screaming that he's Jesus Christ and all kinds of crazy stuff, right?
And so I hop out. I look over, the guy's pinned there. I mean, like, freight train riders know this. Like, if you get pinned between something, do not move that shit, otherwise you bleed out. I ran in, I grabbed the keys. He's sitting there like nothing even happened. If you started driving that car around again, man, there would have been a hell of a lot of bodies around here.
So this other guy, he was obviously mentally unstable at the same time. And his charges, ended up in court. He was mentally unstable. So this guy was mentally unstable, but he's attacking these women, trying to help this man. And Kai jumps out of the car, runs around the car, and whacks the guy in the back of the head with the hatchet.
I hop on out, and so I grabbed the bag, I threw it over by that pole right there, and then Buddy gets out, and these two women are trying to help him. He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. Like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I ran up behind him with a hatchet, smash, smash, smash.
Now, what we didn't really know then is the first two whacks were with the back side of the hatchet, so the blunt side. It's not like he was really trying to cut the guy open. He was trying to hit the guy over the head with something to stop him, right? That's what it seems like. But on that third whack, on that third smash, he turns the hatchet around. He hits him with the sharp side of the hatchet. I'm not going to say that Kai was wrong for that, but what led up to that circumstance is where I believe Kai has some involvement, some wrongdoing. So on the court stand, in that case, Kai comes out and says he was rolling a joint, gave him a joint. Later on, when Kai showed that, hey, I can play music too, and everybody was trying to get a piece of this viral sensation so they could steal his clout, a band wanted to get Kai to play with them. And then one of the guys in that band was listening to Kai tell the story and was like, wait a minute, you say you rolled the joint? You say the joint was laced with all kinds of stuff? And you gave it to this guy and that guy didn't know, and then all of a sudden he's crashed into the back of a truck screaming he's Jesus Christ? That doesn't really sound like you're innocent, you know? And hey, we don't know what really happened. We only know Kai's story and the other guy's story, and both of them are mentally insane. So, I mean, what are you supposed to go with, right? So Kai, he gets to be the hero. The people working with Kai, it ends up being this reporter who is the only person, the one that got that viral scoop, right? That's the only reporter that Kai would talk to that day. And then he left. They just let him leave after hitting a guy in the head with a hatchet 3 times and being in the car with the guy who caused all the trouble. But anyway, so he leaves. So everybody's trying to get in contact with Kai through this reporter. So this reporter attaches his name to Kai. He's talking to Jimmy Kimmel's people. He's talking to the Kardashians' people. They want to make a reality show around this guy. So they start tracking him down. When they track him down, they do a longer interview with Kai. And Kai's like, yeah, I don't really know. I'd rather just go to the bay and smoke weed than go do all that stuff. Flips a pencil, apparently. Decides, yeah, I'm just going to go to the bay and smoke weed. But while they were talking to him, they did interviews where Kai's coming out saying that he got graped, right? That he had woke up at one point and some guy was trying to grape him, and he fought his way out of it and ran away. That was a story that he told far before anything crazy happened with Kai a few months later. Well, the people who were trying to work with Kai realized real quick that they weren't going to be able to do any reality shows or anything with this guy because he's out there. He's pissing on the Hollywood Boulevard. He's chugging bottles of liquor. He's completely unpredictable, right? So they realized we can't do a show with this guy. This guy's never going to work with production. He's never going to, like, we could barely get through a Jimmy Kimmel segment. He has no attention span whatsoever, no care. He doesn't care about the money. Every time we give him something, he turns around, gives it away. He's just a free spirit. So that's what they go with. Kai goes on, and he's a media sensation. But, you know, viral moments, they only last for so long. So over time, you know, people stop worrying about him. You know, 3 months later, Kai's out, and he's in New York, and he's looking for a place to stay. He's calling this girl, trying to get her to come pick him up, trying to get a ride, trying to get a place to go. And what does he end up doing? He ends up going to stay with this 70-something-year-old lawyer. Now, this 70-something-year-old lawyer, obviously some kind of a pervert, right? And I guess he thought, or he knew, that he had a chance to have sexual relations with Kai, right? So he goes and apparently, according to Kai, he roofies him and then molests him. Kai says he woke up the next morning and he had this metallic taste in his mouth. He stood up and there was, I don't know a better way to say it, sperm running down the side of his face. So he knew he had been molested or whatever. Well, he didn't do anything about it. According to Kai, he didn't do anything about it. The guy bought him some train ticket. He gave him a hug. All that's on camera. And then Kai leaves. But Kai couldn't find another place to go. So what does he do? Kai goes back to this guy who allegedly roofied him and then molested him and asked him, hey, can I stay with you again? Well, he stays with him again. They eat some burgers, whatever, drink a beer. Kai passes out, and then he wakes up to this old 70-something-year-old lawyer who is not in any physical shape to manhandle anybody. I guess that's where the roofies come into play, right? And he says he wakes up to this guy trying to pull his pants down to molest him again. So he said he turned around and he fought back and he hit and he punched him with his hands. He says he used his hands only, and then he ran away, and that he didn't know that anything else had happened to this guy, that he had just fought him off of him in self-defense and ran away. Now, there's a lot of holes in that story, right? Like Kai's already said that the guy had molested him the day before. So if you've done that the day before, why would you go back the next day? I mean, if you didn't want that type of relationship with somebody, I'd sleep on the street before I go back to somebody who had just done that to me the night before if I'm not a willing participant, right? But Kai went back. And then apparently he wakes up and he beats dude up to get him off of him and leaves. But when police go find the guy was stomped. The guy was severely beaten and bloody and dead, ear hanging off. Gruesome stuff, right? And like I said, the guy wasn't a real physical, I mean, he was a 70-something-year-old lawyer. He wasn't a bodybuilder. He wasn't a strong person. Let's leave it at that. Now, Kai goes and starts posting on Twitter and stuff about what would you do if this happened to you. And then, obviously, he gets arrested. He tries to use the self-defense plea and say that dude was trying to grape him. But the courts find that they didn't believe Kai, and they sentenced him. And supposedly the judge told Kai, well, by the time you get parole, you'll still be younger than this guy was before you murdered him. Now, till this day, Kai still says that it was self-defense, that he never murdered anybody. What are the chances? What are the chances? And tell me why people thought that a hatchet-wielding hitchhiker was some local hero. At this point, we know that Kai isn't the person everybody thought he was. Is he a free spirit? Probably so. Kai's name is an AKA, right? Kai's not his real name. His real name, his family name, is Caleb Mcgillvary. I'll post it right here because I'm not good at saying last names, right? He's Canadian. Now, he's also went by Kai Lawrence and Kai Mcgillvary, and obviously, as everybody knows him, Kai the Hatchet-Wielding Hitchhiker. This story is crazy. There's a whole new documentary out about this on Netflix. This happened back in 2013. 2013, for 3 months, we had Kai the Hatchet-Wielding Hitchhiker as a hero, and then suddenly he was a murderer. And it didn't really take much for people to say, oh yeah, obviously he was a murderer, right? Like, obviously, a hatchet-wielding hitchhiker is not the best thing to come across. I mean, sometimes common sense leaves us, right? I suggest you go to Netflix and you check out the entire documentary because it's well worth the watch. Now, there's a lot of people in that documentary who paint themselves as, oh, I was just doing my job, or, oh, I thought this way, or I thought that way. In reality, it seems like everybody was trying to take advantage of this Kai guy, right? He signed a contract for a reality show in hieroglyphics. Now, come on. This is obviously somebody who's not mentally all there. And they were just planning to take advantage of him. Because that's the Hollywood machine, right? Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel to see more. Hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.
Yeah.